All right, Math 8, this is our homework help video on decimals. We're adding and subtracting decimals. When you add and subtract decimals, it's super important that you line up by the decimal first. Line up numbers by the decimal, okay? You're going to line up numbers by the decimal, just like they did here. Do you see how they lined up these numbers by the decimal? Okay. So now you're going to add. You have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Remember, use fingers and toes. Carry that 1. 8, 9, 14, or count. Um, the last step with adding and subtracting decimals is to bring down that decimal. And this is your answer. You're going to do the same thing here. You're adding so you can line them all up by the decimal. The first number is 74 and 906 thousandths. This is the thousandths place. The second number is 1. This is a 1, and it's in the hundredths place. The third number, that's 42 hundredths, is in the hundredths place. So now I'm going to put 0 as placeholders here, okay, so that I can add. So here I got 6 plus 0 plus 0 is 6. 0 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. 9 and 4 is 13. Carry that 1. 4 and 1 is 5. And then 7 and 0 is 7. Last step is bring down the decimal. Okay? We're going to do the same thing for, actually, I'm going to let you do number 3 on your own, okay? Because it's very similar to what I did here. Line up by the decimal, okay? This is already lined up by the decimal, so I'm going to do some subtracting here, okay? So we're going to subtract 7. You cannot subtract 4 from it, so you decompose, or some people say borrow. This 10, you're going to add it to the 4, which makes it 14. The 10 that you borrow from this, because it went from 64 to 54, okay? So now 14 minus 7 gives us 7 here. You can't subtract 8 from the 5, so you're going to decompose again. This gives me 7. That 10 that you add gives you 15. So you're going to say 15 minus 8, that's 8. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 7. Do you see that? So this is going to be 7 here also. You cannot subtract the 8 from the 7, so you decompose or borrow again. So this becomes 17, the 10 that you borrowed or you decomposed to make the 10. All right, so here 17 minus 8, that right here is going to give you 9. Okay? And 2 minus 0, that's going to give you just the 2. Last step is to bring that decimal down. 2 spaces behind the decimal. And that's your answer there. You're going to do the same thing here. You're going to line up by the decimal. This is 462. No decimal here. I'm just going to add a decimal to 0. Subtract, line up by the decimal, put your decimal here, right up under this decimal. And the number that goes under the 2 is 1. It's 3 right here. The number that goes under the 0 is 2. You lined up by the decimal. Now you're going to subtract. 2 minus 0 you cannot do. Decompose the number. This gives you 1. The 10 that you add, that you took from that gives you 10 there. 10 minus 2 gives you 8. 1 minus 1 gives you 0. 3 from the 6 gives you 3. And then 0 from 4 is still 4. The last step is to bring down that decimal. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing for these. Line up by the decimal. So you have 16 and 1 thousandths. Put your decimal here. You got 1, 2 goes under this 6, 9 goes here, 8 goes here, 4 goes here. Okay, just to make sure that you're lining it up right and you're going to subtract. Okay, so when you subtract here, you cannot subtract from the zeros here, but you can subtract. You can borrow here or decompose. That's going to give you 5. You're going to take 1 from here, so this is going to give you 9. This is also going to give you 9. And then this is going to give you 11. Okay? So now we have 11 minus 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 7. Do you see that? Okay. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. Last step is to bring that decimal down. And keep in mind, when I decompose this number, I borrowed from this gives me 5. This actually gave me 10, but I had to borrow 1 from this 10, which gave me 9 here. Then this gave me 10. I borrowed 1 from that 10, and it gave me 9. And then this gives me 11. Okay, so I just kept borrowing. That's why these went down to 9 instead of 10. So you're going to line up by the decimals, and you're going to add or subtract. When you look, you're going to have to do 2 at a time here. So you have 20, and you're going to subtract. You have 14 minus the 8. You got to do this first. Get the answer here, whatever the answer is here. And then whatever this answer is, put the answer first, and then subtract this last number. Okay? I want to know that you can do that. So please do 2 at a time when you're subtracting. You can add all 3 numbers together, but when you subtract, you just have to do 2 at a time. All right, y'all. Have a good one. If you need more help, just let me know.